everybody, my name's Toni and I'm here with the Everyday Counts program, and we have an hour together, an hour for yoga. So wherever it is that you want to start, get nice and comfortable. This week I will be using, this is a yoga strap here. If you do not have a yoga strap, a belt, a piece of ribbon, even a kind of a rolled up tea towel, something like that, or a thin towel, anything at all. A scarf, just make sure that it's something that you can pull on, so the more firm it is, the better. You can even use a TheraBand if you want. No right and wrong here, whatever's handy. The best props are the ones that you have. So, once you've gathered that, come to a place where you would like to start your practice. And that can be seated in a chair, on the floor, it doesn't have to look a particular way. I'm sitting up on a block because that it just makes me feel more comfortable. And then when you're ready, do your last little adjustments to settle in. Take a full breath in when you're ready. And exhale it out, slow and steady. And as you do that, feel free to lower, soften, or close your eyes. Another few breaths just like that. Full inhale, starting to let go of your day. Let go of what is going to also come after your practice. Noticing if there's tension present in your body and doing your best to ease that as well as you start to notice this moment. Noticing the place that your body touches support. You can even push down into that support to awaken that awareness if you would like. And then release. Notice the room around you. Sense and feel it, and then draw your awareness inside your body. Be open to how it is you're feeling today. And maybe your mind is scattered and here, there, and everywhere, and you're not quite sure. Or maybe there's something in particular that arises, a feeling, an emotion. Gather it all. We're not trying to allow it to be one way or another. We're just gathering information, how it is that we feel. Noticing if there's something familiar on your mind, or if it's a little bit of everything. Noticing how your body feels today. From the tip of your toes, gathering your awareness up through your body. Noticing places that are louder, places that are quieter. All the way up to the crown of your head. And then on an exhale, sweep the awareness down through the body, settling tension, tightness. Allowing yourself to be in this moment with no other expectation. Starting to pay attention to your breath. And immediately we tend to lengthen the breath when we pay attention to it, making sure there's no forcing involved. Steadying the breath as best as you can, all the way in and all the way out. And if there's nothing else in your practice you do today other than be present to your breath and this moment, however it arises, then that's already perfect. Anything else, as far as I'm concerned, is a bonus. So with that steady breath, start to focus on the exhale. Just the exhale. Allow the inhale to take care of itself, and notice the exhale from the top all the way down to the bottom. Listen to the sound of the exhale breath. No need to make it louder. It may sound like the waves coming in and out on the ocean shore. It may sound like a breeze. It may sound simply like your breath. But allowing that sound from the top of the exhale all the way down to the bottom to become as smooth and as steady as you can allow it. Again, any forcing, even 1% of forcing, let it go. Even if that means that the exhale becomes smaller and softer. And that's the breath we'll work with for the rest of the practice. At any point, you can come back to the focus of these exhale breaths. And from here, root down through the support underneath you, adjusting anything you need to along the way. From there, lifting up through the spine, rooting to rise, up through the base of the skull, through the crown of the head. Collarbones are soft and wide, shoulders are down and away from the ears. Exhale, the ocean exhale sound. Steady and smooth, grounding you into this moment. From there, we're going to take hold of that strap. Allow the strap to come into both hands, knuckles towards me like you're kind of riding a bike. And the hands go low. Keep that softness in the strap. With the breath, on the inhale, we're going to lift the hands up. And on the exhale, we're going to allow those hands to come down. Doesn't matter how high or how low. Play with how wide your hands have to feel for it to feel comfortable through your body. The wider your hands, the easier generally in the shoulders. So it might take a little bit just to figure out what feels good for you. Easy joint, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, and thumbs, so you don't need to lock them. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Keeping the spine as neutral as possible. So noticing if when your hands come up high, if they do, that your front ribs aren't popping out, which is how we like to compensate for the range of motion in the shoulders by using the spine. Steady movement, steady breath. That exhale is the key. So once we're up, any height, the exhale, imagine moving through molasses to take it back down. We've got another 5 breaths here. Rest whenever you need to. If you want to add on, then you can pull your hands away from each other. The pressure is up to you to start to build a little bit more strength. Or just simply lifting and lowering. Your arms are pretty heavy, so even when you lift the arms up and slowly down, there's a whole lot of work that's going on. This is the last one. Arms come all the way down, and then any kind of softness you need through your body to ease tension, go ahead. From here, however wide your hands are, maybe take them just a little bit wider. You can stay with the previous modification, lifting and lowering, or when you're ready, inhaling up. However, whatever height that is, on the exhale, we're going to bend the elbows. Now, depending on your range of motion, that strap may be in front of you. It may be on the crown of your head, or it may be back behind you. Notice, Either way, which feels more comfortable for you, one is not better than the other. Again, the wider you take your hands, the easier it's going to be in the shoulders. Notice if your spine is compensating, if you're moving through the spine to bring things back behind you. That's quite common. Just draw the front ribs in. One is not better than the other, so play with it a little. If you bring your hands or that strap in front of you, does that feel more sustainable in your body? More is not better here. If you want to add on, you can start to pull through the strap so the hands come away from each other. Steady and smooth, another 3. Resting if you want. Joints are easy, so you don't need to lock them at the top of that inhale. After the last exhale, we'll take the hands all the way up, and then wherever you are, lower them all the way back down. Roll through the shoulders. Anything you need to ease any tension, go ahead. Getting into the shoulders again, I'm going to take that strap over the right shoulder. So you've got a whole lot of strap at the back of you. Right arm comes up, thumb to the sky. Bending the elbow, and you can give your hand a little help if you want to take that strap with the right hand. Doesn't have to, it can be way up high, it can be low down, it really doesn't matter. Left arm comes out to the left, thumb down. Hand comes back behind you, and you can sway over to the side to allow that strap to slip to the left so you can take hold of it with your left hand. Elbows draw away from each other, so in opposite directions. Now, the further away the hands are from each other, the easier it will be in your shoulders. The closer you walk those hands towards each other up the strap, the more challenging it's going to be in your body. Front ribs nestled in, rooting to rise. And here we are, drawing the elbows away from each other. So not necessarily back, but away from each other in separate directions. If you can't keep the ocean exhale, do less in the shape. So release the hands so they come further away from each other, rooting to rise. Noticing where you feel the most tension here, whether it's in the right shoulder, whether it's in the left shoulder, whether it's somewhere else entirely. Another 2 breaths here. Maybe taking those fingers further away from each other, maybe walking them closer towards each other, your choice. Last exhale. And then we're releasing the hands, rolling through the shoulders. Any numbness or tingling in the fingers ever, release. Release until that's gone away, and sometimes that's releasing entirely because you're pinching nerves way up in here. Strap comes to the left side. So again, you've got a whole bunch of strap behind you, or belt, or tie, or whatever you happen to have. Left hand comes out, thumb to the sky. Bending the elbow, taking hold of the strap. Right arm out, thumb to the floor. Take the hand behind you, and again, you can allow that strap to swing over so you can take hold of it. From here, rooting to rise. So notice what's happening, especially in the front ribs, and snuggle them in. Elbows draw away from each other. Numbness or tingling, release, do less. Or you can walk the fingertips closer towards each other. Elbows away from each other in opposite directions. So again, not necessarily back, but away from each other. So we're getting this diagonal opening through the front of the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Noticing, close your eyes, soften your gaze. Notice where you feel this. Where does it feel tight for you? Can you change things up so it feels easier? Ocean exhale, another couple of breaths. Always release if you, and come out early if you prefer. Stay for the exhale. And then releasing the hands. Any movement you need to ease tension, go ahead. I'm going to take that strap off towards the side. And we'll come back to that later when we come down to our back. From here, coming over onto hands and knees. So working with that kind of dynamic tension once again. Any padding, any softness under your knees that you would like, please go ahead. Hands at a comfortable distance, at least shoulder distance apart. Spreading the fingertips. Any wrist issues, please come down to forearms. One is not better than the other. Just making accommodations for what feels good. Toes tucked or untucked. Belly draws in, back of the heart lifts. Now push down into the foundation, very much like rooting to rise. So we're rooting down to rise up and length through the spine. Ocean exhales. Next, exhale, we're going to push into our foundation and the back ribs arch up towards the sky. Maybe the chin comes towards the chest. And on the inhale, the belly drops. Gaze lifts. Feel free to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Use those ocean exhales to lengthen into that full exhale all the way down to the bottom. Notice what's going on in your body, how it feels, where you feel it. If you can do anything to adjust or adapt the movement so it feels better for you. Last breath here. And then when you're ready, coming back to a neutral spine. Still using the foundation underneath you to find lift. Knees come in towards each other, patting the left knee as we take the right foot back. Length through the leg, pushing through the heel. Ball of the foot on the floor. And then we inhale, forward, exhale back. Inhaling and exhaling. Finding length through the right leg. And again, any amount of movement that suits you works. From here, coming into a trunk stabilization, coming to a central pot, left knee padded, and then we're going to take that left foot out behind us. Tuck the toes or untucked, whatever feels good for you. Right heel comes down towards the left, and that's going to pop us up onto the right fingertips. You can adjust the left hand to support you underneath the left shoulder. Hands are spread wide here. Great place to be, right here. If you want to add on, we're going to lift that right hand up to the right hip and turn the heart to the right side. This may be enough. Pushing into the foundation to widen through the collarbones, pushing through the foot to lengthen through the crown of the head. Adding on, right arm comes up, so we're wide across the collarbones here. Ocean exhales. Great place to stay right here. Option to hover the right foot. Steady breath, ocean exhales. Last add-on, sweep the right arm over the right ear, and we're finding length from the heel all the way to the fingertips, whether your foot is on the floor or hovering. 3 breaths, ocean exhales. Stay for the last breath. Right foot comes down. Left hand or right hand comes down, left foot comes in, and here we are back on hands and knees, cat and cow. Same thing, other side. Coming back to neutral, Knees come in towards each other if they're not already there. And the left leg comes back this time. Ball of the foot to the floor, heel pushing away, and we're rocking forward and back. Easing through the joints, strengthening through the back of the left leg. Great place to be, ocean exhales. Coming back to center, adding on. Patting the right knee if you need to. Right foot kick starts out behind you. Left heel draws towards the right and ground. So the whole of the right foot is on the floor, or left foot is on the floor. Left toes facing towards the left. Pop up onto the left fingertips, and this is a great place to stay right here. Any adjustments you need to make, maybe readjusting that right hand, go ahead. Option to allow the left hand to stay on the left hip. Wide collarbones, get rooting to rise. So we're wide across here, but we're wide from the foot all the way through the crown of the head as well. Adding on, arm extends. Push down through our foundation to lift up. You can stay here, you can hover the left foot. Push through the heel, flexing the ankles all the way up through the body, through the spine, through the crown of the head. Last add-on, sweep the left arm back and down over the left ear, and here we are. Whether the foot is on the floor, or it's hovered, or you're tapping, coming in between the two, widen through the collarbones, 3 breaths. Ocean exhale. Inhaling and exhaling, steady and smooth exhale. When you're ready, foot comes down, sweeping the left arm back and down, right foot comes in, left knees draw in, tuck or untuck the toes, big toes back towards each other, hips back towards heels. You can sit on something if that makes you more comfortable. Child's pose. Take the knees as wide or as close together as is comfortable for you. And here we are, supported by our hands, forearms, fists, all coming down. You can even take the hands all the way back by the heels. Movement or stillness, your choice. Ocean exhales. Rooting always downwards. Allow the breath to settle. If you want to find length, we're going to take those arms out in front of you. Fingertips to the earth, tenting the hands, forearms lift, and then walking the fingers over to one side, opposite hip moves to the other, finding length where you find it in your body. Notice sensations. Notice where you're feeling it, and if there's anything you can do to adjust and adapt something so it feels easier in your body. When you're ready, walking fingers back to center, hips come to center, fingertips to the other side, and the opposite hip shifts away from the fingers. Once again, noticing where you feel things in your body, adjusting or adapting something to suit you. Ocean exhales. And when you're ready in your own time, you will come back to center. 3 more breaths in your child's pose. When you're ready, coming all the way back up to hands and knees. This time, the toes are tucked. Coming into preparation for downward facing dog, and then if you wish to, downward facing dog. For those of you with eye conditions or head injuries, then we'll take preparation first. So Your tabletop, pushing down to rise. So we get awake through the spine, toes tucked. Pushing down through the toes and through your hands all the way to your fingertips and thumb tips. Come back to the steady breath. And then on the inhale, you're going to push into your hands and toes, hover the knees. That's the inhale. Exhale, we're taking that down slowly. And you'll notice as you come down slowly, how the muscles slowly unwind. Inhaling, hovering, exhaling, releasing. And you might notice that one knee comes down first, trying your best to keep it as even as possible so you're not compensating one way or another in your body. Harder to do. And then, if you want to add on, we hover and we stay here. Steady exhales. 3 exhales, and then at the end of the exhale, you'll come down, take a breath, and then come back up. 3 breaths. Those of you coming to downward facing dog, the wider you take your feet on your mat, the easier this will be. Steady breath. Rooting down through the feet and the hands on the inhale, keeping the knees bent, we're sending the hips up towards the sky. Exhaling, drawing them back down. Again, noticing if you're coming down with one knee before the other and keeping it as even as possible. Aware of the muscles engaging and unwinding. Option to stay here, lifting and lowering. Option to lift the hips and stay. Push through the hands all the way through to the fingertips. And then we're going to bend one knee more and push the opposite heel down. Legs do not have to be straight. Heels do not have to come to the floor, but we're walking the dog. Lifting up through the sit bones towards the sky. So as you ease into this movement, you may notice how you can take your heart a little closer towards your legs. Option to stay pulsing. Option on an inhale to lift the heels together. Exhale, dropping both heels towards the floor. They may or may not get there. Does not matter whether your legs are straight or bent. 3 breaths wherever you are. In stillness, you can rock from side to side, making any adjustments you need to. And then when you're ready, wherever you are, knees come down to the mat. Big toes untucked, coming towards child's pose, your child's pose that you've chosen. Steady the breath. Ocean exhales. And when you're ready and settled, in your own time and own way, we're going to come up to standing and I will meet you there. And here we are coming to standing. Taking your feet at a comfortable distance, spreading the toes really nice and wide and getting connected downwards. Like you're on a beach in the sand and you could just dig down a little deeper. From there, rising up all the way through your body, palms towards me, mountain pose. Steady, exhale, breath. Ocean exhale. Listen to the sound of your breath and feel free to close your eyes, soften your gaze or lower your gaze, whatever you're comfortable with. And steady the exhale all the way down to the bottom. Moving with the breath, and start at the elbows, inhaling up, exhaling down, or from the shoulders. Arms don't have to come very high. Keep the joints nice and easy. Just allowing that breath to guide your movement. That ocean exhale means that the exhale is just as slow and steady, if not more so, than the inhale. 2 more. Last one. Beautifully done. Hands to the hips, and we're coming to the front of your mat. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Steady breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Rooting down through the right foot and fixing your gaze somewhere at eye height that you can softly rest your gaze on. On an inhale, lifting the left heel, and on an exhale, taking support if you need it, stepping it back, warrior 1 on the legs. So the left foot is about a 45-degree angle. The wider you take the foot towards the left side of your mat, the easier this is going to be in your hips. Right leg bending and straightening, and as you do that, readjust your stance so you feel comfortable. Next time we take the knee down, we're going to stay here. We're going to square up the shoulders towards the front of your mat. And immediately, depending on how you feel in your groin and in your left knee, you may want to adjust your foundation. Everything is here for your comfort rather than a way that you think it needs to look. So adjusting. Straighten up through that right leg. And again, the left shoulder's forward, right shoulder is back. Doesn't have to be perfect. Hips are off towards the left for sure. This is the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to dip down into the knee. Right knee bent more or less over the ankle. Inhale, straightening up. Exhale, steady exhale down. Inhaling and exhaling. Adding the arms. On the inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up as we straighten the front leg. Exhale. Hands come to shoulder height, thumbs to the sky like you're holding a box. A big or a small box, whatever feels good in your shoulders. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We're going to stay here, or if you want to add on, next time we come down, we stay. Inhale now sweeps the left arm open. Exhale takes it all the way back to center. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, sinking. Inhaling, opening, taking your gaze with the thumb if you like. Exhaling to center. Continuing with those ocean exhales. Noticing if you need to adjust anything in your body. Steady the exhale. And you can continue moving through this dancing warrior, or the next time we come back to facing forward and center, stay here. Arms come up, full warrior 1. Adjusting anything so it suits you. Option to stay here. Option to soften the gaze or close the eyes, go inwards. Give yourself permission to make any changes. Ocean exhale. Last breath. Inhale, pop the eyes open if they were closed. Hands come to the hips, straighten the front leg. From here, root through the right leg, pick up through the left heel, and coming forward. Hula hooping through the hips, and back in the opposite direction. Same thing, other side. I'm going to come to this side so I can face the camera. So, mountain pose. Hands to the hips, settle the breath. exhale, taking that back, warrior one stance. Toes out at about a 45-degree angle and over towards the right side of your mat, however much is comfortable for you. Left knee bending and straightening, and from here you'll get a feel of whether you want to widen or lengthen your stance. Next time we come down, option to stay. And then we straighten up through the shoulders, and that usually gives us a clue as how we need to change things up in our body to stay here sustainably. So again, readjusting things, that back leg is strong and straight, rooting down. On an inhale, lifting, straightening the front leg, exhaling, sinking. Ocean exhale. So really getting used to the exhale being long and slow. Distributing the weight evenly between both feet, so not just using that left leg. Adding on with the arms. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, sinking, as if you're holding that box in front of you, thumbs to the sky. As big or a smaller box as suit you, and that's all to do with your shoulders. Give yourself permission to do what it is that you need. Option to stay here. Option, next time you come down, stay. Inhale, sweeping the right arm open. Exhale, closing that up. Straightening the front leg and lifting. And here we are, dancing warrior one. Ocean exhales. So use the full exhale for the entire motion. Listen to the sound of that ocean exhale. You can stay here, dancing warrior one. Or the next time your hands come forward, we stay. Option to take the arms up, full warrior one. Adjust as you need to. Option to soften the gaze, close the eyes, turn inwards, and notice what's happening in your body. Notice where you're feeling things. Adjusting and adapting always. 2 more breaths. Staying for the exhale. Eyes float open, hands float down. Straighten the front leg, lift the back heel, and coming forward. Hands to the hips, hula hooping, one direction and the opposite direction. Coming all the way back to center, mountain pose. Steady the breath, settling it down. Ocean exhales. Stay here for as long as you like to settle the breath, and then we're coming down to the earth. Bring your strap or whatever it was you were using as a strap with you. And anything else you need for relaxation. And I'll meet you down there. So here we are down on the floor. I've got a block handy. You don't have to have a block. You could have a rolled towel or not. And then I have the strap. And I'm coming all the way down onto my back. So knees to the sky, feet to the floor. I'm going to take myself out of the sun there. Any softness you need underneath you, please take it. And then we're going to take that block up towards the right hip, or again, you can use a pillow, a rolled towel, you don't even have to have anything. And I have my strap handy right here. Knee in towards my chest, and I'm figuring out what feels good for me here. So maybe you need to adjust the back, maybe you need to have some support underneath your head like a folded blanket. Come back to the ocean exhales. Right hand to the front of that right knee, and we're going to bring it up towards the sky. Now this is a great place to be. Everything we're doing with the strap, you can do from a bent knee.
So if when you lengthen through the leg, you're finding a lot of shaking happen, please do everything from the knee joint with the knee bent, and then you can take that left leg long if that's comfortable for you. Remember, that's always an option. Otherwise, you're going to take that foot, and we're going to take or lasso the strap around the widest part of your foot, which is the ball of the foot, from the base of the big toe to the base of the little toe. Strap is in both hands and the shoulders are heavy towards the earth. And then we push the heel up towards the sky. Now that knee does not have to be straight. You're going to figure out a place that's good for you. But we're trying to lengthen through that right leg. Allow the strap to slide through your hands as much as you need to allow the shoulders to be heavy. And we've got a natural duality here as we're pushing through the heel up towards the sky, whether that knee's bent or not. And then with the arms dangling, we're pulling down with the ball of the foot, getting into the back of that right leg. And you could feel it pretty much anywhere through that right leg. However, if it's directly in the knee joint, please take a micro bend into that knee so we're not stretching and lengthening through the tendons and ligaments. We're really getting into the muscles. Great place to stay right here. You can, of course, just like we did with the arms, start to put a little more pressure, pulling back with the hands a little bit more on the ball of the foot. That is going to lengthen through that leg. And how do you know it's enough? Because you can still lengthen that exhale, ocean exhales. Great place to stay right here, allowing the full length of the leg bone to pull deep into that hip socket. Great place to stay. Taking the strap into the right hand. Left arm goes in a cactus or a T at shoulder height. This is where there's a possibility of needing that block, so we keep the pelvis balanced. This is the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to wing that leg out towards the right, inhaling back up to center. And it doesn't have to be a big movement, but a support at the right side of that hip can give you the control that you need. Now, this is not about the biggest movement. This is about the coming to an edge where the breath is still steady. Option is also to either wing the left knee out towards the side, you can prop that, or take the left leg out long. Inhaling and exhaling. Or next time you come out towards the side, you could stay. Elbow to the floor is going to help for support. And again, you get to adjust any support you have on the left side so the pelvis keeps as neutral as possible. Pushing through the heel, drawing back through the ball of the foot. Anything that feels comfortable. If you cannot stay and breathe here, you're getting any sensation, which is painful, we stay away from pain, you're going to back off, or you're going to prop that leg up a little higher, okay? So you're not coming into, especially that inner groin there, if that is uncomfortable for you. Staying for a few breaths, always coming out early. Pushing through the heel, so we really are lengthening through both legs, or just through that right leg. On an inhale, we're drawing the leg up to center. You can give it a little break here, give it a little hug. Or we're taking the strap into the left hand. Right arm now is coming out into a cactus or a T. This is the inhale. Exhale, we're taking the foot over to the left, just a little. Inhaling back to center and exhaling just a little. So I'm talking about probably 10 to 15 centimeters maximum. You're going to get into that IT band, which is down the outside of the right leg. Anything in the knee joint itself, you're bending through that knee or coming back to the previous modification. But otherwise, we're getting into the IT band, especially outside of that right hip. Option to pulse, option to stay. Pushing through the heel, drawing back through the ball of the foot, spreading those toes nice and wide. Great place to stay right here. Any walkers, hikers, runners amongst you, then this is going to probably feel like you're really getting into sensation. Please stay at a place where that ocean breath is an option. If you want to add on, we'll take the right foot over to the left any amount. Now that thumb on the right hand can nestle into the hip crease, pushing the femur bone away from you, and that's going to add sensation. The more you release the foot away from you, obviously the easier it's going to be. The further you draw it up, the more challenging it's going to be. You have your breath to decide how much or how little feels comfortable. And the last option is, I have a wall here so I can rest my foot on it, and you can always do that. If you have a whole lot of space over there, you're welcome to take the foot over, coming to the pinky edge on that left leg. Gaze can come away from you. And again, you have that option of pushing down through that femur bone, so it's kind of lengthening again through the outside of that hip. Another couple of breaths here. Again, that left elbow can be on the floor for support. We're coming up to center when you're ready. Keep the strap in the right hand this time. We're going to bend through the knee, this time towards the armpit. Half happy baby. Left leg can stay long, bent, your choice. Drawing the foot all the way down, but pushing through the heel. The outside of the ribs are brushing towards the inside of that right thigh. And again, if you don't need the strap, then no big deal. If you prefer to take your hand to your thigh or the outside of the shin, your choice. Steady breaths, ocean exhale. When you're ready, we're going to release that, release the strap, give that right knee a little hug. Option to stay as you are, whether your knee is bent or straight on the left side. We're going to take that knee over towards the left, right shoulder stays grounded into a gentle twist. Now from here, you can take the knee closer or further away from you, or higher or lower. You get to play around and choose what feels good. When you're ready, coming back up to center, feet to the floor, knees to the sky. From here, coming to the other side. So, left knee draws in, give it a little hug. Option here, left hand to left knee. Everything we did on the right side can be done here through the knee joint, so rather than extending the left leg. Or we're going to take that strap somewhere in the middle, or whatever you're using as a strap, around the widest part of your foot, the base of the toes. And then we're taking it up towards the sky. This may feel very different this side. Spread the toes wide. Allow the weight of the left leg to sit back into the pelvis. Allow the shoulders to be heavy to the ground. So you're lengthening, allowing that strap to slip through the hands so you can get that groundedness through the shoulders. Great place to be right here. And the option is, if you had that towel block, you can take that to the outside of the left leg. Strap is in both hands, and here we stay. Bending through the knee if you get sensations through the center of the knee. Otherwise, you can extend. Heel pushes away, toes come back towards you. Option to lengthen the right leg. Again, that foot is flexed if it's lengthened. Staying here with the breath. The further away your heel is from you, kind of more at a 45-degree angle, the easier it's going to be. We're not trying to achieve one thing or another. You're working with your body, not against it. And we know that you're working with your body because the exhale breath is long and steady, just like a breeze in the trees. You can stay here, taking that strap into the left hand, right arm is at a T or a cactus. And then the option is, this is the inhale, exhale, taking it out towards the side. Inhaling to center and exhaling. Keeping the pelvis as steady as you can. There will be some movement there, of course. And any support you have on the outside of that left hip will help support the pelvis. Now I've got a wall right here, so I can't take it very far. We're not trying to get more or a bigger range of motion. We're trying to find your edge where the breath is steady, where the body feels safe. I'm leaning that up against that wall there. Elbow to the floor is going to give you support as you have that option to leave the left leg out towards the side. Steady breath. Stay here for as long as you like. And then when you're ready, we'll draw that all the way back up to center. Right hand takes the straps, left arm is at a cactus. This is the inhale, exhale. We're sliding the left leg towards the right by about 10 centimeters. Inhaling back to center and exhaling. It's not going to take very much to start to get into that IT band or the outer left hip and all the way down at the outer left leg. We're all going to feel this differently and in different places. So pay attention to where it is sensations are arising in your body and notice how that feels. Notice if the breath is steady. Notice if it feels good to you. Use your intuition. You can stay here pulsing, or the option is to allow that leg to come closer towards the right side. You can lift the pelvis. You come to the outside edge of that right foot, and here we are. Left shoulder's grounded. We've got a twist not only through the hip here. You can take that thumb into the hip crease, pushing the femur bone away from you, pulling the leg back up towards you. That's going to add sensation. If you want less sensation, release the leg away from you. Gaze can come over that left shoulder. You got a few breaths here, always knowing you can come out earlier. You do not have to wait for me. You're tuning into your body and noticing. On the inhale, we're bringing it back up to center. Keep the strap, if you have it, around the foot. Bend the knee, and that right knee can bend too, foot to the floor if it's not already there, or keeping it extended, half happy baby. So the left knee is coming towards the armpit. The inside of the thigh or the mid-thigh is coming towards the rib cage, and we're opening up through the inner groin. Again, any time that the breath is not flowing with that ocean exhale, do a little less. Yoga is not about trying to do as much as possible. It's about paying attention to everything in the moment and choosing, deciding what works for you. When you're ready, releasing the strap. Left heel comes towards your seat, right hand, left knee, and across the body it comes. And if you have any props underneath it, you can use that. Change up the twist so it feels comfortable for you. Left shoulder grounded, and then you can gaze over the left shoulder away from the knee. Ocean exhale. That's your key. That's your gauge to if you need to do less or if you're in a place that your body feels safe. When you're ready, gaze comes to center, knee comes to center. Both knees draw in, give them a little hug as you choose. And then from here, extending the legs out. Coming to any relaxation, shape, position you want to. And as you get settled, I'm coming up to a seat to guide you.
So settling yourself in, taking anything you need for your comfort. And then when you're ready, taking a big breath in. Hold at the top and exhale, release. Another couple of breaths just like that. Big breath in. Hold at the top, soften the muscles, exhale, release. One more. And as that last exhale releases, release the breath entirely. If you haven't already, close your eyes, soften or lower your gaze. You can even take an eye pillow. And we start to tune out the rest of the world. As we allow our body to be fully supported here, always giving yourself permission to adjust and change things as suit you. Settling in and noticing the energy settling too. As your body settles. And the thoughts settle. And all that is left is awareness. Witnessing that we are not our body. We are not our thoughts. We are not the situation we're in, but we are the witness of it all. Our body is there to serve us, and we live within it. Our thoughts are also there to serve us. As we release everything, start to settle into the very essence of you, your awareness, your consciousness, aware of it all. When we let go of everything else, there we are, still us, right at the very core of you. You may even locate that in a particular location in your body. A very central part of you, a part that you, your consciousness, your awareness lives. Where it feels most at home. You can rest here for as long as you like, aware of it all. Or come back here as often as you wish. For those of you who would like to finish your practice, expand your awareness to your whole body, crown of your head to the tip of your toes and fingertips. Aware of it all, every sensation, the emotions, witnessing the thoughts that come and go, without needing to look, feel into your environment. And still, even with this awareness, you're still witnessing it all. This life. Allow the breath to become more mindful in your own way. And then bring movement, any movement, slow, lazy movements, so you're aware of it all into your body in your own way. Maybe circles through the fingers, the wrists, the ankles, the toes. Maybe shoulder circles, maybe stretching wide, giving yourself a hug. Maybe rocking and rolling from side to side, back to front, anything at all. And wherever you are, coming to rest for a moment and tuning back into maybe that location in your body that felt that your consciousness was most alive. And then expand out again and come to a place where you would like to finish your practice, wherever that may be. It doesn't have to look a particular way. Something that's comfy. And as you settle into the place you've chosen, settle everything. Come back to that conscious awareness. Hands in a gesture of closing. Take an inhale, and on an exhale, softly chin down towards your chest. And thank yourself for this time, this awareness, this movement practice. Thank you for being here today. Namaste.